Second down, back to Edwards-Helaire. And he's taken down inside the 30. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line.
Well, you think back, Charles, a year ago to Super Bowl 55, we were out in Tampa, and this Chiefs offense just never could get it going. Patrick Mahomes hobbled by that turf toe injury. The offensive line, they were down a few starters. It was just a team that, frankly, was not at full strength.
And to their credit, they didn't use that as an excuse, and I applaud them for that because what our eyes showed us, what we saw in that game, they didn't play their best game, but Tampa Bay, the better team throughout, right from the word go, and they really got after Kansas City in that one.
And Mahomes picking up the first as he slides and hits the deck.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stops short of the goal line down at the 2. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Chiefs have struck quickly here in the opening minute of this Super Bowl. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. To the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. I thought the days of the fake extra point were numbered once they moved these kicks back to the 15. Apparently, I was mistaken.
Yeah, I was wondering who was ever going to try to do this. In fact, I quit wondering. I didn't think it would ever happen. Taking a fake from the 15-yard line to try and pick up an extra point, I didn't think anyone would ever call this.
Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
So out come the Bucs now. Now a first down carry by Jones. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They'll run on first down. Jones hit, and the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown. And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. So their second touchdown of this first half, they went for 2 after score number 1. Didn't get it. Now they get the equalizer, so to speak.
So to speak, and you can understand the thinking. Because they didn't get it after the first score, they wanted to get back to a normal points pattern, get up to 14. But just think, if they missed it here, only up 12-0, 1 extra point on the other side can ultimately beat you if they score twice.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. Brady's throw taken in by Miller. Clock running. The Bucs try to go quickly and get set. From the 44, Brady. His throw incomplete. Well, Charles, you think about these two teams, and think about how long it's been since we've had the same two teams play in the Super Bowl back-to-back years. You have to go back to the Cowboys and Bills almost 30 years ago in the 90s. That's the only time that it's happened in the Super Bowl era. So I'm curious, what kind of chances do you see of us having a Kansas City-Tampa Bay Super Bowl in L.A. come February?
Well, you just pointed out how difficult it is for one team to get back to the Super Bowl, let alone the same two teams to play against each other. So the odds are against them, but would we tell either one of these teams they can't get back there? We think they're two of the best in the league. It shouldn't surprise us if it happens, but it is going against historical precedent. But remember last year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they won the Super Bowl in their own stadium. The only time that's happened in Super Bowl history, too.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. To throw is Brady. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. And he is going absolutely nowhere in the wrong direction. Well, down 2 touchdowns already. I guess they felt they needed to go for it, but still early, still first half.
I think conventional wisdom says, look, as you point out, you got a whole half to play. Hang in there. Don't give up any more points in this situation. Do a little adjusting at the half and come out ready to go. But sometimes those coaches can just sense their team. Maybe they're a little flat or they need a little extra inspiration. And he decided to go for it there to try and kickstart things. Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes, escaping the pressure right. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. To return is Jadon Mickens. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Like a freight train there, Derek Nottie with a sack.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Brady to throw. On the screen, Bernard. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. That's going to bring up fourth down. Only a gain of 2 there. Here's Bradley Pena now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
So that about the shortest pass a quarterback can make, but it winds up going for a bundle.
Yeah, let's face it, in the stats, it sure looks like a heck of a throw, doesn't it? It's almost...
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Demarcus Robinson, 41 yards. And the Chiefs will extend their third quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Buccaneers have it. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
On first down, Brady. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. On second down now, Bernard. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. Two of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
Meanwhile, Brady's throw complete here, pulled in by Howard.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Brady. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now Brady got to have this one. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
All quarterbacks are better when they have clean pockets to throw from, but you give one to Tom Brady, he'll decimate a defense. A really nice job there by his offensive line, giving him the protection to survey the field and make a nice, accurate throw.
He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly, and this one could be coming back. The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the first down against our defense by that decision.
After the penalty, it's Jones. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Buccaneers are on the board here in this Super Bowl.
Extra point up and good by Succop. And that cuts this lead down to 13. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And the Chiefs are going to make the recovery. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl.
And the Chiefs are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl. And here's Edwards-Helaire.
And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. And the Buccaneers able to now loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Give him 32 yards as we inch our way to the 2-minute warning. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep.
This Bucs defense, you remember, pretty stout last year, the number 6 overall unit in the NFL.
And I think that as the season wore on, and you pointed this out to me as well, you start to see some of their rookies begin to figure things out. And they played a little more like a top 2 or 3 defense down the stretch. And I would say that in the playoffs and through the Super Bowl, they were truly the best defense in the NFL.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Mahomes takes it himself, and this time he breaks the plane. He's in for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Chiefs are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Mahomes will throw for it, and this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Brady now on 1st down. And he finds Gronk. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Throwing on 1st down is Brady. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Brady's throw there, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. Brady